Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at the Bitcoin US dollar index on the weekly time frame, and we're looking at the entire history of Bitcoin since way back when the dinosaurs were walking the earth. And I've cleaned up, I've made a new chart. I've drawn parallel channels on a completely fresh chart without all of this on it. Um, for you, for your viewing pleasure, showing basically what Bitcoin has done over its entire history. Now, what I want to know is, do you see this on any other channel? Does any other I don't like using the word influencer just because I'm not an influencer. Does any other analyst uh, show this exactly as I have it laid out? I know some people probably have something similar. I would hope they do. But this shows this is Bitcoin's price action enclosed in all these channels. And all these channels are perfectly parallel to one another. And this yellow channel is its major trend line that it has followed over the years, with exception to this. Also, these channels' price action doesn't exactly match up as well as all these others. And I will. Am I not on? Okay, I'm not on automatic there. But I will zoom in to show you now, so you can get a clearer view, because that was way zoomed out. But here we have our parabolic bull run and then the bear market. In our parabolic bull run. And in between, we have the accumulation zone, which is what we're in now. Parabolic bull run, bear market. And these are just the overall Bitcoin market is a bull market. This is a bull run. I mean, all the indexes are. Like, here's the S&P here. Over the S&P has been trading about this parallel channel for 100 years. This goes all the way back. All the way back to the 1930s. S&P has been trading about this parallel channel. I could make it bigger. I could make it bigger to enclose all the price action, but this is a really wide range here, and I don't want to do it. I want to keep it as consolidated as possible. So it's kind of just like a trend line band. And I guess I have the 200 weekly moving average turned on. Well, I'm not going to turn it off. So, but you can essentially see we traded above it, through it, below it, through it, above it, way below it here in the 70s and 80s. I like to think of when it trades in the channel, that's just regular normal times. These are bad times. These are good times. Here we had a really good time. And then it collapsed to just back to, a correction back to the trend line. A little bit more, and this was 2008. Yeah, that was the housing crash. And now since then, we are coming up out of this channel, but I think we got more to go. As we did back here, we're just a little bit above the channel, and we did come up here dramatically since COVID with all the money thrown into the system, and we've had a correction, not back into the channel because it hasn't been that bad. Our economy's good, it's strong, and it will continue on. We haven't had any major catastrophe. We just had a little bit too much inflation because of all the money being pumped into the system. But it's corrected for that, and it's continuing on in this parallel channel. And I believe we have, let me turn this off because that's messing me up. I believe we got a little bit more to go here until, well, sometime in 2030. And then something will happen and we'll have a kind of a major correction. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we go up here, come back down, go back up here. Who knows? Anyway, I think we got some more room to go up here. Maybe up to 6,000 in a couple years or so, something like that. Back to Bitcoin. So here Bitcoin's doing the same thing in our channel, up and down. I have the channel enclosing pretty much most of the price action. Came up a little bit above it here, a little bit below it here, totally within it here. And well, here we just came down to it. You know what, briefly, I do want to say something. I want to rant a little bit because you will hear other analysts or influencers. Really, they are influencers because they are trying to influence you. They'll tell you 80% or 90%, uh, you know, accurate information, but they'll tell you 20 to 10% of bullshit, and that is their agenda. Crypto Wendio says about a dozen times every video, we're in a bear market. We're in a bear market. We're in a bear market. Well, let's just measure from the bottom of the market to here, where we're at currently. That's 127% over the past 10 months. I don't know who would call that a bear market. Now, true, altcoins have it favored as well. I don't have an altcoin chart up here right now. But some of them have, like Render. Render's over 5x from where I bought it in October, which was our true right here. The week of October 10th was the bottom of the market. Now, I will show you why that's true. It's very simple. It was the bottom of all markets, and I can just verify it very easily here. Right there. The week of October 10th was the bottom of the market. Now, back here in June, the market came down as well, as did we. And here, well, you know what? They didn't come down in November. You know why they didn't come down in November? Because they didn't have the FTX collapse. And why they didn't come down as low as we did, like way down here? Because they didn't have Luna and Celsius and Voyager and all that other crap going on. But here we are. Excuse me, we did. So in June, we came down further than we would have. And in November, we came down further than we would have. And here is, where is October? There's October right there. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Here's October where my cursor is on, the week of October 10th. And you can see that minus this little wick right here and minus this FTX collapse bullshit, this was the bottom of our market. And from there, we've continued in the upper portion of this parallel channel. That's where we're currently trading, with the exception of FTX and with the exception of this. Now, this was planned. I called this out when it was happening. You could see the dump at exactly the same time across all the markets. This was planned by, I don't know who, but people, somebody with a lot of tokens, a wide range of tokens. And it wasn't just the market. This was planned. And why did this happen? To suck up. This is the accumulation phase. All this, the big players are accumulating and they're effing with you. Um, and you know what? I may as well talk about it now because I was wondering, if I was BlackRock, wouldn't I have been accumulating this whole time for my spot Bitcoin ETF, and not just here in October as is being reported? Or wouldn't I have? And I don't know exactly what the rules are, um, as far as legality of the whole thing. Um, but if I could, that's what I would have been doing, certainly. I would already have all my Bitcoin I need for my ETF. They got plenty of money to do it. Um, and I want to get it down here, or at least have another entity doing it for me, and then I would just simply pay them for it when I needed it over here. I don't know if they can do that or not. But then I got to thinking, if I was the other entity, why would I want to sell to BlackRock if I know Bitcoin is going to be going up here to $250,000? So I guess it makes sense that they would accumulate here, especially if they know that it's Bitcoin's going way off of my chart currently. I can't even go that high. This is still a bargain. This is still a bargain because we're we're just trading in this parallel channel. Now, I'm not saying we're going to continue on this in this parallel channel the whole rest of the time here, and I'll show you in a second what I think. Well, it's not what I think; it's what's going to happen. Um, so anyway, how do you suck up all these coins right here? How do you suck up all these coins right here without just making it blast off to the moon? And you might think it's blasting off to the moon right now, but it's only what? It's only up 25%. We're up 25%, um, which is nothing when we're going to go up 1,000%. um, so, how do you do that without making it just blast off to the moon? You get people used to trading in here on these little ups and downs. The sideways, boring, boring, boring sideways action for months and months and months, where people buy down here and sell up here, and buy down here and sell up here, and buy down here and sell up here, and they keep doing that. They keep doing that, and they sell, and they got the mentality. They have the mentality where they sell. They probably sold here or sold here. And definitely are selling up here. That's what these long wicks are. These long wicks are. It's people just selling, 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 shorting, selling, 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 shorting. And BlackRock and Fidelity and all these other guys are just sucking it all up. It's all being sucked up this whole time. So there you have that. Now, okay, let's zoom out quickly here. So are we going to stay in this channel here? What's going to happen in the near future? I definitely think we're going to go to the top of this channel, which is about $37,000. And I think we're going to poke through a little bit more. Because if you look back here, I think we'll trade a little bit in this range right here where you got a lot of price action. Um, I don't know, maybe between 42,000 and 37,000. So honestly, I think we'll probably poke up through here a little bit and trade on top of this channel, similar to what we did back here, through, maybe through the end of the year. And so, no, are we going to stay in this channel? No. And let me get my other channel that I drew that's perfectly parallel to this one. It's up here. And just pull it down here and put it on top. So, no. You can see that we also trade in this channel here. A little bit up there. Came right up there, just went down right to it. And you can put these channels one on top of another. Well, actually, it's trading within this whole major channel that we've been trading in. So you can see the center line of this major channel. We've had price action down to there. So we will continue onwards and upwards. Well, here, we'll continue onwards and upwards into our bull market channel. Now, is this the bull run, the parabolic run? No. That will start over here. You can see it starts over here at the end of the channel. That's when we shoot straight up. Back here, it starts towards the end of the channel where we shoot straight up. So right here, I think we still continue up and sideways over here until about, June, July. Sometime in June, July, from this point on, is where we will start our bull run. After the halving. The halvings are marked by the blue lines here. I think I said that before, I'm not sure. These blue vertical lines, which, by the way, do not occur every 4 years. It is not a 4-year cycle. What is the high here? The high here is in November of 2013. Well, the high here is in December of 17. We had 2 highs here. And you can argue here we had this one and even this one. So here, April and November. So granted, those are all similar. We've had November, December, November, December, November, December. But we've had the halving events. This one was in November, this one was in July, this one was in May, and this one's going to be in April. So having the halving events at different times, it's a little bit less than 4 years, affects the cycle. So that's why we have things behaving differently, although very, very similarly. You can see how he went up, down, kind of had a little bubble here, up, down, little bubble here, up, down, little tiny bubble here, and then in every consolidation or accumulation consolidation range before the parabolic run, it's gone up a little bit steeper, up and a little bit steeper, and I think we're going to go up and a little bit steeper here, up to 60, 70, $80,000 range before we start our parabolic bull run. Now, here I made some predictions about larger predictions. Whoa, I have to really zoom out to see my larger predictions, and I may modify these to 62,000 by end of January, back down to 48, and up to 57. I think this one might be a little bit higher, probably, and this one might be a little bit sooner than March, maybe back here. I don't know. But this is approximate. I think this is what we're going to do. And I really think that 48,000 at the halving is going to happen based on stuff I won't get into now. It's going to make this video too long. I'm going to stop right now to see how long I've been rambling on. Wow, 21 minutes. I haven't even gotten to the meat of what I wanted to talk about. So that's what they're doing. They got you used to all this, and probably a lot of you sold right here, thinking it's going to come back down over here. Um, but it's not. And boy, if you thought the black swan talk was bad back here, they're going to come out of the woodwork. You're going to have all these crazies talking about all these black swans and Bitcoin's going to crash. Everything's going to come crashing down. But it's not. We predicted this back here on October 14th. We predicted this. Now, this purple line has to be scrunched together because it's happening a little bit quicker than I thought. But I told you, once we retested this orange line, once we broke through these levels of support, retested this orange line, I drew it all out here that we would blast off. I've been talking and talking and talking about this. And here you go. Anyway, this was on October 15th when we were down here. And I'm drawing the line, and I'll speed it up for you. There, we just drew the line. So that was 9 days ago. And I told you what Bitcoin will do over the next 2 weeks. Here, you need to watch. If you haven't watched it, look at 14 subscribers, one view. One view of Ethereum just bounced. I'm telling you what Ethereum is going to do. Coming out of this channel, it's going back up to 2,000. And where's Ethereum on here? Coming out of this channel, it's going, and on that video, I drew this line too. And here we are. Currently, we've shot up here. We've bounced off the bottom, just like I said. Back here, bounced off the bottom, and boom. And we're coming, we broke through here, retested it, and should shoot up to about $2,000, at least to the top of this purple channel, or the center line, or whatever this line is, either center line or part of a channel. And then once we break out of this, so I'll tell you right now, again, probably once we break out of this channel, and I don't know if it's going to take this long, but it's going to do something like this. We may have to squish these purple lines back together, but we're going to come up here, maybe come back down to this yellow line here. Boom, boom, boom. It might happen quicker. It probably will. And then our target is this arrow here, which takes us up to the top of this parallel channel. Probably in March, because that's where it meets the top of this channel of $4,500 Ethereum. Yeah, so I don't think that's out of the question, because that's what happens in this zone. Prices usually triple before the 2.5 to 3 times from the bottom to here. Let's see what that is. This went way down. Wow, yeah, that went way down. So let's not measure from there. See, this is why my videos take too long. Yeah, be up there before we start our parabolic run. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Anyway, we're continuing up. We've been consolidating, and we are about to make a steeper move upwards. That's what we're doing. And let me quickly go on. I'll just go over my videos real quickly. We talked about this October 6th. We talked about where we were going. I talked about these levels of resistance that we were about to break through. Let's have all these videos lined up for you. This was October 4th again, talking about the orange line, the orange trend line, and breaking through it. And it got 11 views. You need to like, subscribe, and share this stuff. The Bitcoin bull run has started September 29th because we hit this trend line and we bounced off of this trend line. It was inevitable. All this was inevitable and predictable. Expansion off of low volatility has begun. This was September 18th. Now, since then, I don't know, get out of there, you stupid thing. Since then, we've kind of bounced here, but I explained how on the 2-day, 5-day, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, we were all at extremely low volatility that we haven't seen in Bitcoin's history. Or the places that we have seen it or have been phenomenal bull runs from there, or crashes down, but mostly bull runs from there. And on the monthly time frame, we were never, ever, ever this low. So, and I also explained, but by the time it expands on the 5-day, the move has already happened. You've missed a major part of the move. Now, this is extreme low volatility across not just the 5-day, but the weekly, the bi-weekly, and monthly. So I expect it to keep going and going and going. We're not done with this move. It'll go, of course, this is October. We're going to keep going through November and December. And we're going to have pullbacks along the way, but I'm not smart enough to predict when those are going to be. And it's going to be so volatile. I'm just holding on as I have been. I have not been trading. I don't have to pay taxes this year on any of my crypto. So that's all good. Let me stop right now. Well, we're about out of time here. So I will continue with the rest of what I wanted to say in another video. So go watch that one now. And I'll make that one a little bit shorter. Thanks. Like, subscribe, share, get this stuff out there. Thanks.